Hey folks, welcome back to the village. Out here again in the garden. This is my Vego bin here that I'm going to be building a trellis for. You're probably asking why you build a trellis for. You can buy one for it. Unfortunately, the trellises for these go on the back side around the corner like this, which wouldn't work for me in my application because it would just create, my sun is coming from the west and that is the south that way, so that would block a lot more of my sun. Maybe not so much with this one, but I plan to do it later on to some of these other bins here. So consequently, this is the first one we're going to done. Emptied out this bin so we could rebuild it and everything. So I added a panel on this bin also to extend it out. So I had to take everything out anyway. So I figured this would be the first one to do it too. So I've gone and taken the first row, the fourth and fifth row out of hardware, and I've got some other hardware here. It's not exactly the right size. I have to reorder it. I screwed up and ordered the wrong size, so I have to reorder that, but I have some other stuff here I'm going to use that'll work temporarily. I'm going to have to go back and drill the holes a little bigger and do that later on, but for now this will work fine. I'm going to reuse the washers that came with it, and then I have some nuts and some carriage bolts that are a little undersized I'm going to use. And if you've watched the channel before, one of my favorite things to use is the dog-eared cedar fence board. These are 6 foot by 6 inches wide. They say 1 inch, roughly they're about 9/16 thickness. And I'm going to take them over to the circular saw, and we're going to rip these down to 1 3/4 width. And that's going to give us our uprights, because the hardware, as you can see, is here and here and here. So we'll have 3 uprights going up, and then we're going to cut some smaller slats that'll go across this way to create the trellis that goes up. Hopefully this will give it enough support. I think it is. If not, all I have to do is pop out some more hardware and put some more carriage bolts through. So I got the saw set up over here. We'll roll over there. We'll take this over there. We'll rip these guys down. We'll get over here and we'll put these up and measure them and get the holes drilled and see how this is going to work out. Alright, so there's our 3 uprights that we put in on there. I'm going to go over there and measure and mark it on one of the boards. We'll come back and mark all 3 of the boards, and we're going to drill the holes for those. So put this down. Let me go grab that and we'll get this set up. So I went over to the actual bin and I marked out my spacing on my holes, and then I went ahead and drilled them. I was going to use this as a template, but everything's still a little bit different from each side. So I think I'm just going to use this for spacing wise, and then I'm going to put the actual upright over there in position and drill them according to the holes on the bin, because they're all a little different. So I didn't want to make them the same and make them look a little off. So we'll take this guy, we'll take it over to the bin now, we'll install it and show you how it's going to look on the bin. I'm just going to take this other board going off these holes on here. It's going to give me my spacing. Kind of hard when you're doing it without a clamp. That'll give me my spacing where I'm going to drill my holes roughly. We'll go over there to the garden. We'll go ahead and install this and to see what it's going to look like to give you an idea how we're going to do this. So let me move you over there and we'll take a look at that. Here we go. We're just going to line this up like this. This is the hardware we're going to be using, and I'm just going to put it through. I got a little nut that goes on the back side. Throw that on there. First we'll drop it. I do left-handed, it's not the best idea. Alright, my hand on that so it doesn't move. We'll come down, there's a second one. And the last one. I think we're going to be fine with the 3 pieces of hardware. I don't think it's going to be a problem. We can torque them down pretty good. I put the washers back on here so the head of the bolt doesn't sink into the cedar because it is pretty soft. And then we'll take our ratchet, put the level up against it. Just see, alright, you way the hell off. Oh, you know I did. I think I flipped it. Oh yeah, that's what I did. I flipped the board around. Oh, crap. Alright, hang on. Flipped the damn board around. Look, there's no way it didn't line up that good. Yeah, it's better when you put it the right way. It works a lot better. Just gonna level that up. I have to get a screwdriver. Gotta tighten them. You want to spin. Tighten them right. Go on there. Money there. Alright, there you go, our first upright. And then we'll go back and repeat the process and do the other two. And then once we get done with that, we'll have boards that go in between, so forth. To that, it'll be kind of on a little bit of an angle. That way when you grow plants in here, you got areas to put them up on both sides there, you know, be it whatever you're growing. So let me go ahead, crap, I scraped that up. Let me go ahead and get the other uprights drilled, and we'll get those put on there and see how this is going to look. As you can see, I got the second one on here. They might look a little off. They're both straight up and down, but then the bends aren't perfect, so they're off a little bit. But I started thinking about it. Once we get it up here and get the third one up, it's just going to be a matter of, even if they're not upright, adjusting them so it's an equal distance between the posts. So that's where we're at now. I think I'm good with the 3. It seems pretty strong. And again, these aren't in the actual hair. I got to get different hardware. These are actually a little undersized. They need to be a little big, bigger, similar to this size of carriage bolt. Just screwed up and got the wrong ones. Actually, I got the correct diameter, but I got the wrong length. So these are ones I bought before that were the right length, but the wrong diameter. So that's what I'm trying to make those work. So I think the 3, like I said, will be good, especially once I get the bigger hardware on there. But I'm going to go ahead and install it, get everything put in, because later on just come back and just drill the holes a little bigger and add the better or the bigger hardware. So I'm going to cut, I'm going to cut that third one, or take and drill the holes in that third one. We'll get that up and see how that looks. As you can see now, I got all 3 uprights on there. Going to take, like, these are some other boards that's ripped down like this. Probably going to rip them in half. And then I'm going to come in here, and we're just going to put them like this. They're basically going to be a little triangle setup. I'll cut them down, of course. I'm not sure if I'm going to bevel them. Connect them to the board. Kind of thinking in my head. I might just square up the ends like this, cut these to size, and then tack them onto the post, and then just butt these up and tack these to the end. I'm not sure yet. Haven't really thought it out, but that's roughly what I'm gonna do. We'll come in here, we'll put like a set here, we'll space them out, and here, and then one at the top. Well, that'll kind of sturdy this up a little bit. And that'll give it plenty of space for the plants to climb up to. But I think, like, these are the same width of these, and each have 3/4. I think I'm gonna take these down to probably 3/4 of an inch. Probably split these in half. What I think I'm gonna do, and that'll give me my cross members across here. I think I'll cut them down, then I'll look and see what I think, and if that's what how I'm gonna attach them to the post. Really thinking I'm just gonna butt the ends of them up like this, and then we'll tack them to this, maybe shoot some brads with a nailer or something, I'm not sure. Maybe tap some little screws into there. I'm not really sure yet. Type a little 3/4 inch screw in there too. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go with. We'll go ahead and rip these down and see what that looks like, and put a couple of those on there to get an idea. Okay, rip them down to this size. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. That'd be pretty good. I don't even know what it is. I didn't measure it. I just kind of lined it up on the saw and cut it. Yeah, I think this will be a really good size. And I started thinking about what I'm going to do. Probably come back, and where these boards hit the corners here, I think I'll do is I'm going to come in here and take a little notch in here, so the board kind of sits in on there, and that'll give me a little nailing point where I can nail through there and into the board. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a bunch of these guys up. Probably gonna finish up tomorrow though. Gonna go watch the baseball game. Yeah, I think that'll work really good. And I might even keep them extended out. No, I don't know, maybe a little bit. Kind of making it up as I go along. But that's what we're gonna go with. Again, just basically about that. I don't even know what it is. I didn't even measure it. I just lined it up on the saw, looked at it, liked it, so I cut them. And it's got a bunch of these pieces we'll cut down. We'll cut them down to size, and then we'll put those in fasteners all together. Like I said, I might come back on the back side of these guys and just make little notches in here. Just cut a little V notch in here, and that way these will kind of sit in on the boards and give me a better nailing point to put them on. So that's what I think we're gonna do. All right, well, we'll get back on that. First we need to get these all ripped down. Then we'll get them up there and measure them to size where I want to be. And then we'll look at that and see if maybe I want to do that notch. If not, it's gonna be a lot more work, but we'll see. It'll give a little more strength too. So let me go rip the rest of these down. Okay, folks, we're back out here again, putting the cross members up. Basically, I'm just gonna cut them to size. I'm just gonna create these like little dados in here with the saw blade, just to give it like a little groove for it to sit in. Now when I put the screw in, it's gonna be just a better little attachment point. So I'm gonna start off one there, and then I'm just gonna go like this, cut the corresponding one over here to length. What's wrong with? Same thing, just gonna make sure it's level and attach it like that. I'm just gonna work our way up. It's probably gonna go about 7-inch spacing, I think, and just work my way up. I think I have 7 7/7 of 49. I think it'll be about right. This one I got a little lower, but I want to have it just lower where the plant's starting out, and then we'll space them out accordingly all the way to the top, and just work our way up. Just cut them to length. Put that one on wrong. And just attach them. Do wish I had a little longer screw, but these are number 8s, a little bit smaller diameter, so that way I don't split anything. It's really kind of hard to split the cedar being a soft wood. So we're just gonna put that one on. Like I should throw this one on real quick, and we'll see what that looks like. Go ahead and start the screw before you even put it up there. I know where to start it, roughly where that dado is. Put that up there, put it in the grooves. Okay. Get started. Move down my little groove there. Okay, so level back up there. See where we're at. Just up a little bit. Split that up a little. That should be about right there. Grab another screw. And come around here. Oh, that was good. Just knocked that out of level. Put that back up there. good. That's pretty cool. There you go. Doesn't look too bad. Again, we'll just take and keep working our way up. I was going to join this, but I only not have to because it just butts up against there. So we're just going to space them out. I think this is less. I think this is closer to 7. About 7. 6 to the bottom. I think I'm going to space them out about 7 in between. I think it's 6 since I went to 6 to the bottom, so I might go 6 to the bottom and just add another one at the top. I cut 14. That'd give me, I need one more at the top. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to measure this and check how many I cut to see if I have enough. No big deal, I can always rip a couple more down. Let me check that and make sure, and then I'll come back and we'll start working our way up with our spacing. Yep, let me do that real quick. As you can see now, I got the first 4 here. I went ahead and put the top one up here because I forgot that these are a little not quite straight. They're bent a little bit, so it's not true. So I was getting my spacing a little bit narrow, which not a big deal. So I went up here and put this top rung on here, and that'll keep my spacing a little bit better. But you can kind of see what we got going there. Just gonna just keep working up this side and get these all done. Then I'll go on that corresponding side over there, put those on. I started going back and forth just too hard. It's easier just to go up on one side here. So we're gonna work on that. And I was not making pilot holes and realized a couple of these did split on me, so I've gone back and slows me down a little bit, but I'm just drilling a small pilot hole in each one before I put the screw in, just keep them splitting. So I'm gonna have to rip down a couple more boards, but that's basically it. It's coming out pretty good. Doesn't look too bad, I think, overall. It's gonna do its purpose, exactly what I want. You know, you could put a plant here in the center. Oops, sorry about that. You could put a plant here in the center, have it come up and support it on both sides, or you can plant something on this side as well as this side and run them up there like a bean or something like that. So I think it's going to work out good. Again, not blocking my sunlight. It's on the end. My plants in the middle will get all their sun from the west and the south this way. So I think it's going to be real nice. Once I get done, I think it's going to look pretty good. And I'm eventually going to add it to the other bins too. So I have these bins back here, this big bin, and this little bin here. And I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add them on the ends here. I might on this one add it on this end. I have a little space there and it's not going to mess with anything. So I might add that one. So it's just on here by the gate. And this one I'll probably add here on this end also. So not too bad. Lots of little cuts and stuff like that, but you know, it's not too bad. So let me go back there and get the rest of these on this side, and then I'll have to go back and cut a couple extra ones so I crack those other ones. So let me get back at that. Well, you can see here that I'm getting pretty close to done here. I got 4. I got to put 4 more on. Not too bad. What I should have done, knowing these uprights were crooked, now that I think about it, I should have gone up between this one here and this one here and measured that across and put a board in there as a spacer. That way they would have kept them straight up and they wouldn't be leaning. This actually tapers as it goes up, which is not a big deal. It doesn't look bad. It's structurally solid. That's really all I'm looking for. So yeah, that's what she looks like so far. Yeah, but it'll serve its purpose. Again, I think it looks pretty good on the actual bin. It's going to work perfect for what I want. It came out like I wanted it to be, where we can actually grow something in the ends of the bins, because with my square foot gardening method, I'm starting to just, when I plant stuff, I'm cutting that off and not making it a square, since then even like you'll see over here, that section I'm cutting off the round section here and just planting stuff across, and then my squares pick back up through here, continue on down. So that's why this I thought would be a good idea, and that way I don't block the sun, and I could just grow stuff on the end. If I want to put one on the other end, I could do the same thing. So that's it. And like, again, like I said before, the Vego one that you can buy would cover that whole back side. That might not be too bad there, but still you're going to end up causing some shade on your plants. So this way I don't shade anything. So let me get back at it, get these finished, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. Okay, as you can see there, got it all finished. Came out pretty good for the fact that I kind of screwed up on the upright boards, not making sure they were perfectly upright and square, but it came out pretty decent. Again, like I said before, if I were to do it again on the uprights on each side, I would have measured across and put a board across there to keep the spacing the same, so when it went up it didn't tilt in, because the board, this board on this side was tilted inward. So, but that's beside. It's solid, as you can see, pretty damn sturdy. It's just, I don't think it'll be weighty on that. Just a couple things, like I said earlier, when you cut these here, I would put little grooves, like little dados in here with the running the saw blade through a little bit, and that lets it sit on that edge, so it kind of locks it in, and when you screw it, it kind of holds it a little more sturdier. So just, that's a nice little thing, I think helped quite a bit. Again, these are made out of the dog-eared fence boards. They say they're 1 inch, but they're like 9/16 by 6 inches wide by 6 foot long. And all I do is rip them down on the circular saw, and then these are just ripped off of pieces of other extra ones I've had left over. So I mean, I probably have, with hardware, maybe $6 in this, $8, maybe 10. So not inexpensive, solid cedar. You don't have to worry about any chemicals from pressure treated wood, and it's going to last even in that crappy weather up here in Nebraska. So there you go. Simple project. Took me probably, I got off to a slow start, so it probably took me all of about 5 hours to do. Could have been done much quicker. Just start and stop, just little things, kind of making it up as I went along. So yeah, so not a bad little project. If you do have any questions or anything, always put those down below. We're here to learn from each other and do, ask questions, come up with ideas. I don't know everything. I'm just like to do stuff, like to garden, like to build stuff. So yeah, if you want any questions or anything or ideas down below, I like to share information. If you like the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you want notifications, you click the notifications and it updates you when I upload a video. If you like that, if you have any ideas, anything else to do or anything else you'd like to see or something I could do better. I know I need to get more action doing it. I was in such a tight space in here, tough to just work and everything, going back and forth. So if I had more space, do a little bit better. We're gonna do a little bit better with the camera and stuff like that. I'm just not real good at it. When you're by yourself, you're jumping in and out behind the camera. So work on a little bit, get better at it. Yeah, next project, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. I'm trying to get the rest of my stuff together. I want to build my solar panel mount out in the alley and put that up. Don't know. I got the panel. I have all the materials to put the panel up. I do not have my charge controller and my inverter yet. It takes forever to figure out what I wanted to get. So that'll probably be something coming up fairly soon, because we are going to try to get the shed standalone on solar. So possibly that coming up later on. So, well, thanks for joining us, folks, and have a good weekend, and thanks for watching.